Hey everybody, my name is Trent, and this is Upper Broadway Studio. I'm super excited to take you on this journey through the world of music production. Hold up. Whoa. We're not even 30 seconds into this video, and I can already tell that this dude is going to be about as boring gets. Keep watching. He's got some stuff to tell you, but it's dry. Whether you're just starting out as a beginner or you're a seasoned producer and you're looking for some fresh ideas, this channel is the place for you. Here we'll take a deep dive into the world of music production, covering everything from beat making and sound design to mixing and mastering, two of my absolute favorites. Okay, so at that part, he's not kidding. Mixing and mastering are actually two things that I really look forward to. I'd like to be able to take the different tracks and figure out exactly how I'm going to manipulate them a little bit. I try not to get too far away from the original, but in all honesty, it's something that I like to do. It's the very creative process, especially if I'm not involved in making the music. Let's say I'm mixing and mastering a track for a client, then I want to be able to, put it together in such a way that it's a very cohesive song or whatever it is that we're producing, but also at the same time, there's a certain amount of creativity that goes in. And I always try to tell my clients beforehand, I'm going to do a little bit of tweaking to this thing. I hope you like what I do. I'm going to try to make it sound as best as I can, but I also don't want to deviate from your original idea. So with that, let's get back to Mr. Boring Pants over here. I'll be sharing step-by-step tutorials, some gear reviews, behind-the-scenes insights, and even some live productions to help you improve your craft. The main reason that I started this channel is that music has always been my passion. Ever since I was a child, music could always be my go-to to help me out in times whenever I just needed to be alone or things just kind of felt overwhelming. And a lot of people I know tend to feel that way. Music is kind of a getaway, helps kind of reduce anxious nerves, helps to calm the uneasy thoughts, and it also is just a great way to feel creative. He's absolutely right. It is a great way to try to escape the mundanes of life, or maybe the overexcitedness, anything that we have that's going on that we just kind of want to make a break from, mentally, emotionally, sometimes even physically. Finding a nice spot where you can physically relax and enjoy the music that you're listening to is a really great thing. Mental health is something that absolutely, I think, gets overlooked quite a bit as far as like everyday talk. It's kind of one of those taboo things that we're just like, we really kind of tend to shy away from it. And if that's the case, if you're not comfortable talking about it, I really hope that there's something out there that kind of helps to calm the uneasiness and the worries that are in your life. And if it's music, then there you go. That's exactly why we do what we do. I started learning music in the 80s, showing my age a little bit here. A friend of mine showed me that you could sit on the edge of your bed, listen to any kind of music at all, pick an instrument, and see what you could do with it. And of course, for me, the thing that I gravitated towards the most was rhythm. And the thing in rhythm, aside from bass guitar, was drums. And I sat on the edge of my bed and I learned how to air drum. I figured out exactly where to put all of my drums spaced out in front of me. And my friend even gave me a set of drumsticks, my very first. So I could sit there and I could try to learn every song that I had that was coming through my headphones. I grew up in a family where we really didn't have a lot of money when I was a kid. So buying excess things like cassette tapes or anything along those lines just really didn't happen. And CDs, that was for people that I had money, because then they had to have money to have the CD player. Of course, I had a cheap little cassette deck, like a little bookshelf thing. I think it was made by Sony or something, and a little cassette player that was portable. I don't remember who made it, but my point is that getting my hands on music was kind of a difficult thing. And I had a cousin that would help me out, and he was a huge fan of Stryper. And he turned me on to some tapes, made me some mixtapes actually. And if you're closer to my age, you remember what a mixtape is. And he put together some tapes and handed them to me, and I jammed out to Stryper a lot. Then I ended up getting my hands on a copy of Queen's A Night at the Opera. I played that thing until it was wore out and it sounded like garbage. But those were the things I learned to air drum to. And then when I was 16, I got my very first drum set. And the guitarist, the song he wanted to learn was Rush, Lakeside Park. So I didn't even know who Neil Peart was at the time. I was introduced to him by literally having to learn a song by Rush. So it was kind of a baptism by fire type of thing. Thank God for all those years sitting on the edge of my bed learning how to air drum to the likes of Stryper and Queen. In 1990, when I was 12, I tried out for the junior high band, and I specifically wanted to be in the percussion section. There was only 5 spots available, and I was lucky enough to get one of those 5. In 1995, when I was a senior in high school, I became the section leader of the drum line, and that was the highest honor that anybody could be awarded. Following high school, I went to a local community college, and I studied music for the next 2 years, learning more about theory and anything else that I could possibly learn about music. My percussion instructor in college was Dr. Norman Weinberg. He showed me things that I never even thought was possible when it came to the world of percussion and music. So after spending 2 years at college as a music education major, I ended up actually not graduating with a degree in music education. At that time, I kind of discovered I wasn't really a college student. I was more interested in making music than I was learning music. I mean, I was doing well as a student. I just come to a realization that, maybe things needed to go a different direction. And so they did. And without getting into that chunk of my life, that'll be something for a story later. I will tell you that Dr. Weinberg was very influential in me staying with music, but I really have to give total credit due to my percussion instructor in high school, Mr. Pless. God rest his soul, he passed away many years ago. But really, he was the one that gave me that opportunity to become a percussionist. And whenever I thought all hope was lost, especially during my freshman and sophomore year in high school, he really was that guiding hand that kept me going in the right direction. So, to Mr. Pless up in heaven, I want to say thank you for everything. And let's get back on with my super exciting story. Over the years, I've played in a few different bands, not a whole lot. But one thing that I realized about playing in a band was that the music production was something that really got my attention. I wanted to learn more about microphones, mixing boards, cables, the whole 9 yards. It was all very fascinating to me about how we could take what we were playing and have it recorded by somebody that knew exactly what they were doing to make it sound great. And of course, this was something that I already enjoyed as a child, listening to music, but I never realized that the sound that was coming through my headphones or my little bookshelf speakers was something that somebody had worked on for a very long time. For the past several years, I've kind of worked as my own producer and engineer on my own projects, and then I was able to expand that out into another project that we have called Flight of the Jams. And that is a very interesting project on its own because on that, none of the songs are pre-written, and I actually record everything as I play. So I'm live monitoring what's being played as I listen to what's being played and play along with what's being played. And it makes it a little bit of a challenge. So one of the videos that I plan to make is a show of how I do that, how I manage to play and live track at the same time. The drum set that I have is not in this room here. It's in another studio. And on my right-hand side, next to the floor tom, I have a recording console / mixer that I record. I think I have 5 microphones on my drum set, if I remember correctly. And then I have one for the guitar, one for the bass, and then I have an extra one just in case if we have somebody that needs a saxophone recorded, and you know who you are. That would be Ross. And sometimes we even record the keyboards because Ross plays those as well. And then I have a couple of other inputs where I record in vocals that comes through another mixer but gets directed into the recording console. So I have on a set of headphones where basically I listen to everybody playing at the same time as I'm playing. And I'm also, while I'm playing, I'm trying to make sure that I don't have the gain set too high or too low, or that my compressor is not working correctly, things along those lines. It's a very complicated process, but it's something that I absolutely enjoy. And again, I'll make a video about it one of these days. I created Upper Broadway Studio as a space where I can share my knowledge, experiences, and my creative process with everybody. My goal is to inspire and educate while also learning from this amazing community of producers and musicians. Oh, I told you. Oh my gosh. Producers and musicians. The way it's like it was being read from a script. Like there was a prompt. Like that wasn't entirely off the cuff. Anyway, hopefully this will be my last interruption. But oh boy, if you made it this far, some of the things we want to do on this channel would include tutorials on music production, some reviews and recommendations on music gear and software, deep dives into different genres and styles, possibly collaborations with other producers and musicians, and even some tips and tricks to help you take your music to the next level. If that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you and see what kind of music that you're creating. Again, I'm Trent, and I want to thank you for being here and supporting the channel. So let's embark on this musical journey together, and I can't wait to see where it takes us. Here we'll take a deep dive into music production, covering everything beat making, sound design to mixing and mastering. Here we'll take a deep dive into music production, covering everything. God dang. I started doing music. After that, I was entirely hooked. I even took... I created Upper Broadway Studio as a space where I can share my experiences, knowledge, and my creative process. There we go. I created a... So you may be asking, what can I expect? Weekly tutorials on production techniques. Some things you could expect from watching this channel would include weekly tutorials. Some things to expect from watching this channel would include oh my God, why could I not say it? Some things to, I just can't talk. This would be a whole lot easier if this wasn't scripted and I'm trying to memorize everything. And don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts. I'd really love to hear. I'd love to hear from you and see what kind of music that you're creating. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts. I'd really love to hear what. Let's get into it. Let's get in. I can't wait to see where it takes us. Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm glad that's over. It's almost unbearable. Oh, poor guy.